Far beyond the stars, in the cold, dark space, a small ship moved slowly toward Earth. Inside, a woman from a distant alien race sat quietly. She was tired and weak. Her skin was pale with faint blue lines, and her eyes held a deep sadness. She knew her journey was dangerous, but she had no choice. Her children were hungry, and she was ready to give everything to save them. The ship's engines grew weaker with every moment, and finally, the vessel crash-landed on Earth's surface, far away from any city or town. The woman stumbled out of the broken ship. Her legs barely held her, but she kept moving forward. The land around her was strange. Green grass stretched as far as she could see, and the sky above was wide and blue. She had heard stories about humans and their world, but now she was face to face with it. She fell to her knees on the soft earth, breathing heavily. Her voice was quiet but full of hope when she called out, "Please, help me. Help my children." Not far away, a small group of farmers noticed the strange figure. They had never seen anyone like her before. Her appearance was different. Her skin had a strange glow, and her clothes were unlike anything on Earth. The farmers slowly approached, their faces filled with fear and curiosity. Was she dangerous? Or was she truly someone in need? The woman looked up, her eyes full of pain and desperation. She told them about her children, tiny beings left behind in her ship, starving and weak. She said she would work their fields, do any hard labor if only the humans would feed her children and keep them safe. The farmers exchanged worried glances. Could they trust this stranger? What if she was a spy or a threat from a faraway enemy? Despite the fear, some felt a strange connection to her. The woman's voice was honest and steady. There was no anger or demand, only a mother's plea. She spoke of her home planet, a world torn apart by war and hunger. She said Earth was their last hope. If the humans refused to help, her children would die. That thought made even the hardest farmers feel uneasy and sad. The news of the aliens' arrival spread quickly through the nearby village. People gathered to see her, whispering questions and worries. Scientists and government agents arrived, trying to learn more about the visitor. The woman stayed calm but guarded. She answered questions slowly and carefully, never revealing too much too soon. Everyone wanted to know why she had come alone, what her real intentions were, and if more of her kind would follow. Days passed, and the woman worked in the fields as she promised. Her strength was fading, but she never gave up. Slowly, the humans saw her not as a stranger, but as someone willing to sacrifice everything for her family. Still, deep in their hearts, many wondered, was she truly a friend? Or was there a hidden plan behind her desperate plea? The tension grew with every sunset. Strange signals were detected in the sky, and some believed the aliens' people were watching from afar. The farmers and villagers prepared quietly, unsure if they should welcome the new visitor or fear what might come next. The woman remained silent about her past, but her eyes often stared into the stars, as if waiting for something, or someone. One cold evening, as the wind whispered through the tall grass, the woman sat beside a small fire with a young farmer named Liam. She told him about her children's laughter and how much she missed them. Liam listened closely, feeling the truth in her words. For the first time, he believed that this alien was not just a stranger, but a mother fighting for her family in a hostile universe. But just as hope began to grow, the night sky flashed with strange lights. Far away, distant ships moved closer to Earth. The villagers looked up in fear. Was this the beginning of something dark and dangerous? The woman stood silently, her face unreadable. The secret she carried could change everything, and the question lingered in the air. Could humans and this alien woman truly find a way to survive together? Or was Earth about to face a threat it could not defeat? As the stars shone above, the woman whispered to herself, "I will do anything, just to save my children." And with that promise, the first chapter of this story ended, leaving behind a world full of questions and a hope that maybe, just maybe, kindness could save them all. ChatGPT said, far from the quiet fields where the woman had landed, the news of her arrival stirred many feelings among the people of Earth. Some were curious, some fearful, and others suspicious. The woman, who called herself Arya, was not like anything they had seen before. Her promise to work the land in exchange for food for her children was simple, but the weight behind her words made people pause and listen. Arya spent her days in the fields alongside the farmers. Her hands, though alien, learned quickly to tend the crops. She worked hard under the sun, her face showing signs of fatigue but also determination. The farmers noticed that despite her tiredness, she never complained. She said nothing of her past, but her eyes held stories of pain and loss. At night, the village gathered to discuss what they should do. Some believed Arya was a symbol of hope, proof that even in the vast universe, life could find a way to connect and survive. Others whispered fears that she might be a spy for the Empire, a powerful force rumored to control many star systems and conquer planets. What if Arya's true mission was to weaken Earth from within? The government sent scientists and military officers to watch Arya closely. They scanned her shipwreckage and tested the soil she had touched. Strange readings puzzled them. The ship's technology was unlike anything Earth had, far advanced and mysterious. Could this technology help humanity, or was it a trap? Arya never spoke against the humans who doubted her. Instead, she told stories of her children, small and fragile, needing food and warmth. She spoke with quiet hope that Earth could be their new home, a place to heal and grow. The villagers slowly began to trust her, moved by her sacrifice and courage. But not all were convinced. A small group of villagers kept a close eye on Arya. They found strange symbols inside her ship, unknown to Earth's scientists. Late at night, Arya was sometimes seen staring at the stars, as if waiting for a signal or someone to arrive. What was she hiding? Was her arrival truly a cry for help, or part of a larger plan? One evening, the village elder, a wise man named Jacob, approached Arya by the fire. He asked, "Why did you come alone? Where is the rest of your people?" Arya's eyes filled with sadness as she answered, "My world is lost. War and hunger destroyed it. I am the last hope for my children. I came here alone because I had no choice." Jacob nodded slowly, understanding her pain but still worried. "If your people are lost, why do I feel a shadow over our home? Why do the stars seem darker tonight?" Suddenly, strange lights appeared in the night sky. Everyone stopped talking and looked up. Far above, unknown ships moved silently toward Earth. The military quickly prepared defenses, but no one knew who these visitors were, friends or foes. Arya stood quietly, her face unreadable. She whispered, "They have found me. The Empire is coming." The villagers felt a chill run down their spines. The simple hope they had felt was now clouded with fear, as the stars blinked coldly in the dark sky. Earth's fate began to change. Arya and the humans must decide whether to trust each other or be torn apart by fear and suspicion. The battle for survival was just beginning, and no one knew who would stand victorious. The strange ships in the sky grew closer every hour, casting long shadows over the village. The people were scared, unsure if these visitors were enemies or something else. Arya, the woman from the distant star, stayed calm but alert. She knew the Empire was coming, but she did not say much. Her eyes often looked toward the horizon, waiting and hoping for a sign. The village prepared for the worst. Soldiers were called, and everyone was told to stay ready. The farmers who once doubted Arya now stood by her side. They had seen her work hard and sacrifice for her children, and now they believed she might be the key to protecting them all. One night, Arya gathered a small group of villagers. She told them stories of the Empire, a powerful force that destroyed her world and many others. The Empire did not care about peace or life. They only wanted control and power. Arya said her ship had escaped just in time, but the Empire would not stop until they found her and her children. The villagers listened in silence, their hearts heavy with fear. They had never faced such a threat. But Arya's words also gave them hope. She had survived, and maybe, with her knowledge and strength, they could fight back. As the days passed, Arya taught the villagers how to prepare for battle. She showed them how to use her ship's technology to build defenses and protect their homes. The farmers became warriors, learning quickly how to fight alongside their new friend. Still, questions filled the air. Could humans and Arya really work together? Would the Empire destroy them all? The villagers did not know, but they trusted Arya's courage and determination. One evening, as the sun set, strange signals came from deep space. Arya's ship picked up messages from the Empire's fleet. They were closing in fast. The village braced for the first attack, ready to defend their new home with everything they had. In the quiet before the storm, Arya knelt by the fire and whispered to herself, "For my children, I will not fail." The battle for Earth had begun, and the future was uncertain. The morning after the warning signals came, the village was filled with a tense silence. Everyone worked quickly to finish their preparations. Arya moved among the villagers, her presence steady and calm, a quiet strength they all leaned on. She helped place the defenses, showing how her advanced technology could protect them from the Empire's ships. The villagers, once simple farmers, now stood like soldiers, ready to fight for their homes and families. The sky darkened as the Empire's fleet arrived. Massive ships blocked out the sun, casting eerie shadows over the fields and houses. The sound of engines filled the air, loud and heavy. The villagers watched nervously, their hearts pounding with fear and hope. Arya stood at the edge of the village, her eyes sharp and focused. She knew this fight would be difficult. The Empire's power was great, but so was their will to survive. As the first ships fired, the villagers activated their new defenses. Energy shields lit up the fields, blocking enemy fire. The farmers fought bravely, using what Arya had taught them. Arya herself took command of her damaged ship, using its hidden weapons to strike back at the attackers. Her movements were quick and precise, showing she was a skilled warrior, not just a desperate mother. The battle was fierce and long. Explosions lit the sky, and the ground shook beneath their feet. Some villagers fell, but many stood strong, united by a common goal: to protect their new friend and the hope she brought. Arya's heart raced, but she did not falter. Every shot she fired was for her children. Every step forward was for a chance to build a better future. Amid the chaos, a strange message came through Arya's ship. It was a warning. The Empire had sent reinforcements, even stronger and more dangerous than before. The villagers realized the fight was only beginning. They would need more than courage to survive. As night fell, the battle quieted. The village was damaged but still standing. The villagers gathered around a fire, tired and wounded, but alive. Arya looked at them, feeling a deep bond growing between them. They were no longer strangers. They were allies, fighting for the same future. The stars above twinkled cold and distant, reminding them that the war was far from over. But in the firelight, there was a small spark of hope. Together, they could face whatever the Empire sent next. The morning after the fierce battle, the village was quiet, but restless. Many were hurt, and the damage was clear. Houses had been broken, fields burned, and the air still smelled of smoke. Yet despite the pain, the people felt a new strength inside them. They had survived the first wave of the Empire's attack, and that gave them hope. Arya moved through the village, helping the wounded and comforting the children. Her face showed exhaustion, but her spirit was unbroken. She knew the Empire would return, stronger and more determined. The lives of her children, and the people who had welcomed her, depended on what they did next. The villagers began to rebuild. They worked side by side with Arya, learning more about her technology and how to use it for defense. Every day, the farmers became better fighters. They set traps, built walls, and trained with whatever weapons they could find. Arya taught them patience and strategy. Winning a battle was not just about power, but also about smart choices. One afternoon, as the sun set behind the hills, Arya gathered the villagers. She told them about the Empire's true plan: to take control of Earth's resources and enslave its people. The news shocked them, but it also made their resolve stronger. They could not let this happen. Earth was now their home, and they would fight to protect it. But Arya also warned them of a darker truth. The Empire had a secret weapon, a powerful machine that could destroy entire cities. If it was brought to Earth, no defense would hold. The villagers understood the danger. Time was running out. Late that night, Arya looked up at the stars and thought of her children. She whispered a promise to protect them and the people who had given her hope. The coming battle would be the hardest yet, but she was ready to face it. The village was no longer just a place of fields and homes. It was a battlefield, a symbol of resistance. And Arya, once a stranger, had become its heart. The days grew darker as the Empire's forces prepared for their final assault. The villagers, now trained fighters, stood shoulder to shoulder with Arya. Every person, young and old, knew the stakes. This was not just a fight for land or food. It was a battle for their freedom, their lives, and the future of their children. Arya's ship, though damaged, had been rebuilt with the help of the villagers and her alien technology. It became their fortress and symbol of hope. From its control room, Arya coordinated defenses, giving orders with calm precision. She had become a leader, not just a stranger asking for help. The secret weapon the Empire carried was close, a massive war machine capable of wiping out entire cities with a single blast. The villagers had little time to stop it. Arya and the village's best fighters planned a risky mission to destroy the weapon before it reached Earth's surface. Under the cover of night, they moved quietly toward the landing zone. The air was thick with tension and fear. Arya led the group, her heart beating fast but steady. She knew failure meant the end of everything they had fought for. As they neared the war machine, alarms blared, and soldiers rushed to defend it. A fierce battle erupted. The villagers fought bravely, using everything they had learned. Arya's ship fired from above, supporting the fighters on the ground. Finally, after a long struggle, they reached the war machine's core. Arya planted explosives, her hands shaking but determined. With a final command, the device detonated, and the massive weapon exploded in a brilliant fireball. The ground shook, and the sky lit up with light. The Empire's forces retreated, their power broken for now. The village cheered, tears of relief and joy falling freely. Arya embraced her new family, knowing the fight was not over. But this victory was theirs. Earth was safe. For today. But the stars held many dangers, and Arya and the villagers would be ready. Together, they had faced the darkness and found hope.